Man's Search for Meaning is a psychological memoir written by Viktor E. Frankl, an Austrian psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor. First published in 1946, this book is a profound exploration of human resilience, suffering, and the quest for meaning in life. Frankl documents his experiences in Nazi concentration camps during World War II and introduces his psychological theory called logotherapy, which focuses on finding purpose as the key to survival and mental well-being. The book is divided into two main parts. 1. Frankl's personal experiences in concentration camps. 2. An introduction to logotherapy, his psychological approach to meaning in life. It has been translated into over 50 languages and is regarded as one of the most influential books in psychology and philosophy. Detailed summary. Part 1. Life in the concentration camps. Frankl describes his imprisonment in multiple Nazi concentration camps, including Auschwitz and Dachau. He reflects on the extreme suffering of prisoners and how some were able to find a reason to live despite horrific conditions. Arrival at the camp. Prisoners were transported in overcrowded trains to Auschwitz. Upon arrival, SS officers selected who would live and who would be sent to the gas chambers. Frankl was among those chosen to work, while many, including his wife, parents, and brother, were killed. Psychological stages of prisoners. Frankl identifies 3 psychological phases that prisoners went through. 1. Shock, initial admission to the camp. Disbelief and emotional numbness. Loss of identity as they were stripped of their names and given numbers. Denial of reality as a psychological defense mechanism. 2. Apathy, routine life in the camp. Emotional detachment as a survival mechanism. Indifference to violence and death. Prisoners focused only on basic survival needs, food, sleep, avoiding beatings. 3. Depersonalization, after liberation. Many survivors struggled to reintegrate into society. Some felt guilt for surviving while others perished. Bitterness toward those who did not experience the suffering of the camps. Sources of meaning in the camp. Despite unimaginable suffering, Frankl noticed that those who found purpose were more likely to survive. He describes 3 main sources of meaning. 1. Love. Frankl held on to the mental image of his wife, which gave him strength. He realized that love exists beyond physical presence. 2. Inner freedom and attitude toward suffering. Even when everything is taken away, a person still has the freedom to choose their response to suffering. Some prisoners remained kind and generous, proving that human dignity cannot be taken away. 3. A future goal or purpose. Prisoners who believed they had something to live for, family, work, a goal, were more likely to survive. Frankl himself survived because he wanted to rewrite the book he lost and continue his psychiatric work. Part 2. Logotherapy, the search for meaning. In the second half of the book, Frankl introduces logotherapy, his psychological theory based on the idea that man's primary drive is not pleasure, Freud, or power, Adler, but the search for meaning. Key principles of logotherapy. 1. Life has meaning under all circumstances. Even in suffering and hardship, life holds meaning. The way a person responds to suffering defines their character. 2. People need a purpose to live. A sense of purpose gives life direction and motivation. This can come from work, relationships, or a cause greater than oneself. 3. We always have the freedom to choose our attitude. No matter the situation, we have the power to choose how we respond. External circumstances do not define us, our choices do. 4. Meaning can be found in 3 ways. Through work, doing something significant. Through love, caring for others. Through suffering, finding meaning even in pain. 5. Existential frustration and the existential vacuum. Many people suffer not from physical or emotional pain but from a lack of purpose. The modern world struggles with boredom, emptiness, and a lack of meaning. 6. tragic optimism, finding meaning in suffering. Even in tragedy, loss, and death, a person can find growth and meaning. This is different from toxic positivity. It acknowledges suffering but gives it purpose. Major themes. 1. The power of meaning. Meaning is the key to resilience and mental health. Even in the darkest times, a higher purpose can keep a person going. 2. Human freedom and choice. No one can take away our ability to choose our response to suffering. Attitude determines whether we rise above difficulties or become consumed by them. 3. Suffering as a path to growth. Instead of avoiding pain, we can embrace it as part of our journey. Many great people find their purpose through suffering. 4. The dangers of a meaningless life. Lack of purpose leads to depression, addiction, and existential crises. People need goals, relationships, and values to feel fulfilled. Key quotes. 1. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Meaning gives strength to endure suffering. 2. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. Our response to life's challenges is our greatest power. 3. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Adaptability and inner transformation are essential to survival. 4. Love is the ultimate and highest goal to which man can aspire. Love provides deep meaning and motivation in life. Impact and legacy. Man's Search for Meaning is considered one of the most influential books on psychology, philosophy, and personal growth. It has inspired millions of people to find meaning in their own lives, especially in times of struggle. Logotherapy has influenced modern psychotherapy, especially in treating depression, trauma, and existential crises. Final thoughts. Viktor Frankl's message is simple yet profound. Suffering is inevitable, but meaning is a choice. Those who find purpose can survive even the worst hardships. We have the power to shape our attitude, even when everything else is taken away. This book is a must-read for anyone seeking meaning, overcoming adversity, or understanding human resilience.